What is going on, everybody? It's me and Matty Matt here, ready to talk about a little Alien Earth, whether we liked it, whether we didn't like it, and what parts we may have enjoyed and what parts we didn't enjoy. We'll talk about it right after this. So here we are, guys. We're here to talk about Alien Earth, the new show that just came out like a week or two ago. We're a little bit behind. We are going to be covering all three episodes, just as far as like what we thought about the show so far and everything else. The new episode comes out tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, Matt, and we'll be doing that one in a more timely fashion, a day or two after the actual show comes out. Everybody can look at it, watch it, and digest it. Me and Matt are also going to do something a little different on this. Uh, Me and Matt usually we watch something or whatever, and in our Discord, which you can join for free, we'll be in there talking about some of the different things and stuff like when we watch the show, even if it's a show or something that we're not covering or something maybe I've already watched, and Matt's like watching for the first time, and he's like, "Hey, what did you think about this?" And we're just going to kind of talk about it more casual sense, but I am going to start us off with a little bit of a preamble about like what the show ultimately uh, was about. So, Alien Earth, this is supposed to be set before any of the films or whatever. Obviously, it's called Alien Earth, so Earth is actually involved, which I think is kind of cool, right? Because you hear about Earth and stuff in the other uh, like movies and everything, but you don't really get to see Earth a whole lot. So it was kind of cool to be able to see Earth. But we have the different, like, there's these five huge companies that are owned by like super powerful people and everything else. You got the Wayland Atani, which is a main one, and this new one that I didn't know a lot about. Even though I love the Alien franchise series and like some of the movies and stuff, I never really dove super deep into the lore. But there's this new one, I think it's Prodigy, done by this actual, like, now he looks like probably like early 20s or something, but he was a child prodigy, became like a big trillionaire. He's like a genius. And basically, it's about them being able to make synthetics, but using like human brains. So they were taking kids that were ill, sick with cancer or whatever, that was going to die. Deal a bit. I just messed that up, but I was anyway. They got like a disease or whatever, and they're taking them and putting them into like synthetics, the droids basically of like Alien franchise, and you also have obviously an alien, and you have a ship that was out there from Wayland Tawny that was coming back that had some like weird aliens on it, and stuff happens from there. And we'll get to talk about all the different things that happens from here on out. But that is the basic gist of the actual show, which I think starting out, if that's what I heard it was about, I'd be like, all right, this is kind of cool. I'm interested in the show and stuff and seeing where it goes from there, and everything else. But yeah, man, let's just get into it, Matt. Let's get right into it, talking about Alien Earth.
hmm
Just tell me like some cool things that you thought was like good about the show.
Um, there's tons of alien action already in the beginning, which is what I wanted. I've always liked the Alien series, and like whenever there's monster movie stuff, you always want to see more of the monsters than the people. And by the third episode, they're already deep into that shit. They're dissecting them, seeing how they take over and transform from the eggs into the face crawlers, face suckers. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that as well. I enjoyed like this is the thing that I enjoyed, and I get why they're doing it the way they have to. Like, bro, I almost wish this was on Max. This is why sometimes I like Max, especially if you're dealing with something that's like got some badass things that can occur, gory or whatever. They can actually show more stuff. There were certain parts of this show where I was like digging it for real, and even though I didn't really get to see some of it, man. But that like party room where the alien shows up and just starts like murking people, bro.
Yeah.
Takes out a whole like party of people that was out there partying while when the ship lands into like the building or whatever, and they're trying to do the rescue scene. But like you had one guy that was like crawling away, like half ripped body, like he don't even have his legs. He's just a torso, like crawling away, and then the alien gets his ass and finishes him off. Like the blood and gore, you got to see some of it. You didn't see a lot of it happen. You got to see mostly the aftermath of what occurred, and the aftermath they showed was actually pretty brutal. Like I was actually shocked because I was like, oh crap, like they actually are going this far because it's like a Hulu FX kind of series or whatever. And I was like, bro, they actually went pretty far in some of these scenes, which I
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, do you like the blood and gore, or do you not care for that as much, or you like get into that?
Yeah, no, I mean, especially with this series, like with that acid blood, like that shit's so dangerous. That's why these things are crazy because even if you do hurt them, they become even more dangerous and shit to you.
Yeah, this is the one thing that I didn't like about the alien species. Like to me, it was cool that they had maybe had like because of the way their shells are and stuff could be really powerful and like super hard to kill and penetrate, right? But when they threw out the whole their blood is actually acid, it's like, bro, that's almost overpowered. Like at that point, like that's the one thing about the Alien franchise I don't really like as much because, like, same thing, the same reason why Superman ain't my favorite superhero. He's like basically overpowered, and these aliens are kind of like the same way to a certain point because of the fact not only is it hard to penetrate their shell and everything, their exoskeleton, but shit, man, it's like once you do hurt them, you get acid thrown all in your face. You got to be
Yeah.
super careful when you're killing them and everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Now
even just
one,
to try and trap one is ridiculous.
oh yeah, and one thing I wanted to point out was like, so in that first episode, uh, I got the nostalgia feel. It looked like the crew from the old first Aliens movie. You know, sitting around, they wake up, they sit around, they're talking some and everything else about their mission and stuff like that, and then they go back to cryo sleep or whatever, and all that. And then you understand, like, oh crap, yeah, they got these aliens, and then one of them's going to get out and murk them, and that's actually what happened. But it was like, so I felt the nostalgia from that point. I thought that was like kind of cool. Kind of sucks that basically all of them died except for the synthetic that ended up be escaping or whatever, the one robot that was able to make it, and he barely made it. But like, I thought that was a pretty cool little setup. It kind of paid homage to, like I said, the original Alien film. What did you think about that?
Yeah, no, that was all sick. This show's really well done.
But that stuff was good. But the one thing though I didn't care that much about is like you have a ship that's like, you know, like obviously you see Star Wars stuff all around me, but you got a ship that's basically like a star destroyer coming down on the Earth. You telling me they did not notice that this ship's coming down? That this ship's falling from space? It's going to crash land into the Earth, and do what it did. Like that to me was kind of like ridiculous. Like how people just started seeing the shadow of the ship, and then all of a sudden it's like they can't be prepared. It's like, bro, like there's no way with the technology they have that there's no way for them not to have noticed that there's a big ship about to crash land onto Earth during that. I thought that was kind of silly. I mean, I don't know if that was something that you noticed or affected you like while you watched the show or whatever, but
Yeah, yeah, no, I definitely picked that up. It wasn't enough to like distract me from everything else, but
Uh, now I will say in the second episode there was a couple of things I also didn't really love, and that was you had this thing where the guy was like he's trying to make a jump. It's the main. So you have the first synthetics made Wendy, and then you have the Lost Boys. I thought that was a cool tie-in, you know, because it was kids that they were making into these synthetics and stuff like that. I thought that was a pretty cool little naming option they had there, Wendy and the Lost Boys. And, you know, she has a brother and she's been paying attention to her brother and stuff like that, being able to use this video, basically surveillance thing. And she's able to see him go around and still do his stuff. And like, she's still attached to him and wants to be able to help him and everything else. Of course, the ship comes down, lands into a building, you know, and everything. And then they do like a rescue operation, and he's like a nurse. And he's supposed to be like a really good one, so he like goes down there to the site to try to help out and all this good stuff. And he's obviously getting into trouble, so he bumps into the alien eventually. And like, there's a part where he has to like try to jump because he's running away from the alien, and he like uh, jumps, can't make it all the way, hits like the thing, and he falls, lands straight on his back, and then he's able to run full speed, get up and run full speed. Bro, he fell on full concrete. His ass ain't getting up and running like that. I don't care who you are. You could be the Rock, a guy built like the Rock, you know, solid, and still not have none of that. And also, there was like 2 or 3 times that he literally should have died. It's like even in that scene I was talking about that had all the blood and gore and the after effects or whatever. Like the alien just comes up to him as a looking at him and just staring at him and not doing the ultimate like kill. When he literally that same alien literally just killed like 20 people in like 10 seconds. But for some reason with him and this guy, he's just looking at him, like and having enough time for him to be saved by something and whatnot. So I did have a little problem with him because that wasn't the only time he gets like stabbed by the tail at one point. Like there's a few times in this show so far that his ass should have been dead by now. What'd you think about that? I mean, like, did that bother you any? Was you all like, oh shit, bro, this guy should have been taken out?
Yeah, I mean, there's always red shirts in all the space stuff, So I like right from the start, I thought that's what that fool was going to be.
But the thing is, though, is I don't think he's dead yet. And I do agree, like the red shirt premise, where you just have like so the two guys who got handcuffed to the pole and then got taken out by one of the aliens or whatever because they couldn't get away because they were handcuffed to that pole and they couldn't get up or whatever and move out of the way. Like those are red shirts, but I consider her brother like a more of a bigger character. If you see what I'm saying, that's like obviously you're going to have some throwaway characters that's got to die. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as they bump into the party and they're trying to help them out, and they're all dressed up doing their little party thing, I knew their ass was cut out. I knew they were dead. I knew, like, and that part's fine to me. It was just like he just keeps getting lucky that like whatever happens to him, he's still able to survive. It was just like, it was just like, bro, what the hell? Like, how many times is this dude almost gonna die and like not get and not actually die from it and everything else? It was
he was benefiting from the plot armor.
Now, I will say one thing I did think about is maybe there's a little plot twist here where he's actually not human. Because the alien won't like attack like a synthetic as fast as it does a human because it realizes the synthetic's not real. It realizes the synthetic, so usually it'll still like maybe mess them up and rip them apart, but it doesn't really most of the time seem to attack them as fast because they know it's not like a living organism kind of deal. So they treat them a little differently. That I think there could be a plot twist later on in the season where we find out her brother's actually not real. That the person, her brother, she thought her brother was real, but her brother this whole time was a synthetic.
Yeah.
So I think that's a plot twist that they could possibly have in this show that might be coming up, but I don't think so. I don't know 100% like if it's going to be that way or not, but that was just something I was thinking about. That was something I was thinking about that this part was bothering me a little bit. But if it turned out to be that, I'd be like, oh man, that's super cool that the whole time her brother was also a synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what other things did you actually like in the show? That I haven't like actually like brought up or anything.
I'm kind of glad that I don't think Ridley Scott's involved in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's good because he's had his run with the series and shit, and like, it's time for something newer.
Right. I don't think this is one of the greatest like alien things out there, but I actually do think the show's pretty good. Because I actually liked the latest movie that came out. Or was it Romulus? I think it was. That came out. I actually enjoyed that movie. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it had some good things. I thought they took a chance with the final boss monster, like that half alien, half human thing. I don't think that came out very great, but I can obviously say, hey, they took their shot. They tried something super new and everything else. And so, that's what I thought about that part. Because I know a lot of people had parts with that ending monster in that movie, but I kind of set this around that. Like, I enjoy this. I don't know how much I'm going to enjoy it without seeing the rest of the season yet. But I was actually like, yeah, man, this is actually kind of a cool and pretty well decently like put together. It looks like an Alien franchise thing. It felt pretty good. It felt like it was definitely in the Alien universe. And I didn't have any, like I said, I have some critiques about like her brother not dying in the ship and way it comes in. It's like nobody knew this ship was coming down to crash land. But those are just like small, like minor things, I'd say. Like now, if the ship would have nosedived, I would have had even a bigger problem because then you're talking about like a comet hitting straight surface head on. Like the end of the world probably happens at that point with how big that ship is. But they did have it like kind of slower. It wasn't like coming in full speed. and instead of like hitting head to head impact, it did kind of like go flat and then just kind of skidded across the surface. So I was like, all right, I'm cool with that. But it was just like, bro, how the hell do you not see this big ass ship coming with all the satellites and stuff you probably have for protection and everything because you travel in space like they do?
Yeah.
What'd you think about the acting and the people they got playing the parts?
Yeah, it was all solid. I like the Wendy one. She's really cool.
Yeah, I thought
She
Wendy
says
and her
she's an
brother.
adult. She says she's an adult, but she doesn't act like one at all.
I thought Wendy, her brother, three of the main characters here, the Wendy, the brother, and the child prodigy, the one they call the child genius. Um, I thought all three of them were pretty good. A couple of the other side character people were okay, but they didn't need to be a whole lot. Crap, he's a famous actor, the guy who's kind of in charge of the Lost Boys and Wendy. He's like giving them the commands. What's his name? He played in freaking Mandalorian in one of the seasons as one of the characters. I can't think of the actor's name, but he did pretty good as well. He was probably like one of the fourth, main characters in the show. But yeah, I mean, like, what do you think about the story so far? Are you like actually interested in it, and how do you actually even think about the show as going on right now?
Yeah, I hope this one gets at least like 4 or 5 seasons because there's a lot to explain with aliens.
So, like, I mean, you're really digging the show then.
Yep.
All right, did you have any issues, any maybe nitpicks like I had or anything that you saw, or was you just kind of like, oh, the show's pretty decent, okay, and like I don't really have any problems with anything or didn't notice anything?
No, yeah, I'm having fun with it. I like it a lot. I was going to tell you yesterday. I think the craziest thing is that Last of Us season 2 got nominated for 16 Emmy awards. I don't know how
Oh,
the hell that happened.
bro, that must mean they think any show that came out during this entire year was full crap. If you were giving them 16 Emmys for the first 2 episodes of that show, I'd be like, maybe, because the first couple episodes was pretty good, but then after that, the show falls apart. It got lost, and then they couldn't. It kind of got lost in the weeds, and they couldn't find their way back out. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that don't happen to this show right here, because, like I said, man, so far I'm overall enjoying it. I don't know if anybody in the chat has a couple of things they want to throw up there about like some of their best moments or whatever. If you're still watching out there in YouTube and Twitch land, throw out some comments there, and we'll definitely talk about some of the things that y'all have with the show that y'all liked or maybe disliked or whatever. But I thought the alien looked good. I think it looked like it may have been a mixture of practical effects, which I think is always cool, and some CGI. Oh God, Brandy, with that. How many times do you walk your dog? Shit, girl, you don't even want to know. My dog be tired. Matt, how many times you walk your dog?
3 times a day.
3 times a
Yeah.
day, he said. D Wizzy with that. D Wizzy with that. Haven't checked the show out yet, bro. You need to check it out. I think it's good enough to check out. First 3 episodes is already out, and they're doing it once per week, kind of a thing. But yeah, the first 3 episodes are pretty interesting. It's got a pretty good story. I mean, we haven't even talked about everything. It's like I told Matt, we're just kind of coming in here and like doing a fireside chat, kind of like what we do normally in like Discord, because I didn't want it. I wanted to come in here and hit the big spots and everything else. Boy, look at this. Backyard with a fence dog cheat code. D Wizzy don't even know. But yeah, just trying to like I said, the aliens look good. I thought the mix of practical and CGI was done pretty well. There's stuff that happens here that you find interesting. Like for instance, like the reason why they only use kids to do this kind of human synthetic put together is because kids have this imagination, which I thought was a pretty cool use of that. It actually even fits, the Wendy and Lost Boys kind of thing, all about imagination and kids being able to have that. That's why the one guy says that's why kids are able to be prodigies, is because of their imagination. That's what allows them to be so smart, because they can use more of their imagination than when they grow older. And that's why the adults can't they're not able to actually get into the synthetics like you can with the kids, because of the fact that like their brains are too rigid and stuff. I mean, did you actually like that stuff or not really care about it, or
Yeah, no, that made a lot of sense.
because it does it does make a lot of sense. Ferris, with I've never watched the Alien franchise, I got to get on that ASAP, dude. You got to watch. Like, I'll even do like a basically like a rewatchers council like movie thing here and there, going through like the old movies like Alien and Aliens, especially. Both of those films are like really super great, really super great. There's like 7 movies, D Wizzy said, and he is true. He is 100% correct with his comment here. But especially those first couple of movies are really like I'd say is almost like must watches if you like film in general. I think they're 2 solid movies. It's not just about like, sometimes people like scary movies just to like scary movies, but this is like it's a really good sci-fi horror mixture together that they actually did like a really good job with on both of the first 2 films. And I agree with Matt a little bit, like, that Home Dude not being part of this one maybe brings a little bit of a new light into the series and stuff like that. And as long as you get the setting right, as long as you get the aliens and you don't mess with the lore, I will say there was one thing that I didn't care for either that can kind of mess with the lore is like, so the guy who's the synthetic that survives the original ship, the one survivor from the ship that crashes into the building, obviously he's set up with the opposite faction here, Owatani, and he like comes out and he knows he's got to try to protect these species as everything else. And then he comes out with that gun in that scene where all the blood and gore was because the party gets messed up. So that scene happens. And right. The reason why the brother gets saved is because Home Dude comes out of nowhere. He's a synthetic, but he has like the big gun and he shoots like the electricity. And then on top of that, he like electrocutes it, which makes it unconscious. And then he's got this thing on the gun that like sprays out and makes like a thing that where it like forms around him, and it's like so he can carry him away. And I was like, bro, you mean to tell me they got them kind of weapons and they did not use them in Alien or Aliens or any of those? Like, how badass is that weapon? And this is before them, so you're thinking, damn, every ship should have one of these guns at this point. Look at my cat trying to get me, Matt. Look at my cat trying to get me. He's over here trying to get me. No, you coming up here now. This is the same cat that played in the movie Aliens, actually. He was the cat that they sent out there that was in the ship walking around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brandy out there talking about the Dawson's Creek rewatchers cancel they just did and everything else. More proof not to watch Dawson's Creek by Did Wizzy. I'm with you on that one, probably, brother. Not gonna lie to you, but yeah, I was like, bro, they got this technology, this gun that can not only knock out an alien like pretty efficiently, and then it can even spray some substance around it so you're protected from it, so you can like carry it away or whatever. And I'm like, dude, how? That's the one problem with sometimes doing these prequels is somebody comes up with a really cool idea and they want to do it and they want to put it in a show or a movie, and then it's like, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that they would have had the capability to use and want to use and technology to use in all the other films. Like, because in Aliens, the dudes, they got really powerful machine guns or whatever, but they don't have electric guns. They don't have electrocutor guns.
Yeah.
Like, is that something that, like, I don't even know how big of an Alien franchise lover are you, Matt? Like the old movies and stuff like that. Do you like thoroughly enjoy them and everything, or are you just kind of like a casual enjoyer? Like, you did probably like 1 or 2 of the movies, but that's about all you got into it.
Yeah, no, I've seen like every installment a bunch of times. I know them pretty well.
Yeah, so but now did that bother you? So, since you do have the background of watching those films and stuff, did that actually bother you a little bit that they're like pulling out this badass technology that shit, bro, everybody should be carrying if they're on a space mission?
No, just because I think they would have had like plenty of stuff. Like they would have thought of different scenarios because they were out. Like their mission was to capture alien life. Like, so I don't know.
Well, I would agree with the first Alien that like maybe they don't have that stuff because their whole deal Was their deal to go out and find an? I don't think their deal was to go out and find an alien. I think they accidentally found one. But definitely in Aliens 2, or Aliens, it ain't Aliens 2, it's Aliens, it's with an S, plural. Uh, those like Marines that come in should have had those guns. They definitely should have had those guns since I'm looking at it now. It's like that gun was badass, bro. Like it
Yeah.
was out there doing the thing. Like I want one of those guns now, if you know what I'm saying. Um, anything else comes to mind like that you wanted to talk about with the show?
No, I'm excited for tomorrow.
So just excited for tomorrow because I am gonna say this, like we just did a preview of, or not we, but our team just did a preview, or a rewatch was canceled for like Dawson Creek that was like an hour show, and they talked for about a pretty good while. I will say in this particular show, even though we're covering 3 episodes and there was some cool stuff in there, the story part of it, the plot of it, is like very maintained and it's not moving super fast. Because we have 3 episodes. Like the first episode, you meet the original crew that's going to be in the crash ship, so we understand where the alien came from and how it gets to Earth with that episode. And you learn about the Prodigy Kid. Then, or man now, because he's like older. Then you get the second episode is like them doing the rescue mission, going through the building and everything else. The third episode is kind of a conclusion to that. The home dude almost caught the one alien, and then like he ends up getting taken out. Then the alien like kills 3 or 4 people or whatever, gets out. So now you have the guy who originally of the crash. He gets out as well, and he's trying to get up with his like leader, which is kind of cool. That the fact that like he was in dealings with the lady that's in charge of the Atani. He was like in deals with her mom, but it's been like a lot of years that they were out in space. When he comes back, it's actually the daughter that he's having to talk to. I thought that was a pretty cool element. But like, but anyway, he's out there trying to get the alien, the specimens that they had all together, so that he could get it there because he's all about fulfilling his contract. But like I said, as you go through the through line of this first 3 episodes, the actual like plot, it's not really at a standstill, but it's like moving slow, but you don't feel it as much because there are cool things happening. You know, when they're searching the building after the ship crashes and all that stuff, and they're talking about, doing the stuff and the aliens going around. There's a bunch of alien kills. There's some interactions with the alien. And I will say, especially in that third episode, I think it was, or it was the very end of the second episode, or it was like in the beginning part of the third episode. One thing I didn't like as well is that Wendy gets pulled into this area. They're trying to close a door with the alien on the other side to try to get themselves away from the alien. But then the door does start working, but then Wendy gets pulled into where the alien is, and they have a fight. She kills the alien. She's a synthetic, so technically she can't kind of die, but maybe she could. Like maybe she gets messed up so bad that they can't like repair her or anything else. And like I said, I think they are using the human brain. So like if the human brain gets messed up, then maybe that actually ends them, and that's how they can actually kind of die or whatever. But they don't show the fight. We just see the door opening up and it's already done. That to me was kind of shitty. Like I understand not showing all the blood and gore as the aliens ripping through 15 or 20 people in that one scene that would have happened in episode 2. But to me, episode 3, you're not even fighting a human. You don't have to worry about as much blood. Even if she does bleed, it comes out as a milky substance because it's not blood, it's something else. And like you could have showed the fight that they had, the alien and Wendy. I thought that would have been something kind of cool they could have showed, but they didn't show it. So there is a lot of like not showing you. You only see what happens after the fact. And sometimes that'd be okay, but I'm not gonna like that if they do that all the time.
Yeah.
That could have been a kind of cool part where you get to see some badass, synthetic versus alien fight here. It is a pretty, I think it's like a younger alien because I don't think this one is as big as they ultimately get. I did see a thing where the Easter egg where they're trying to say that there's a possibility that the boy genius, the leader of Prodigy, the one that's making these new synthetics, that's kind of a mixture with humans and robots, is maybe the person that actually creates the queen, the alien queen that we seen in the movies later on.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to love that or not and all that, but we'll see what happens with all that. But yeah, like there is moments to be cool. It keeps you interesting. There's enough tension and excitement moments that you can have during different things. Uh, just normal stuff you would see in an Alien franchise movie or whatever. But like I said, there's not a lot of plot details. There's not a lot of like uh, super huge. Like there's character development, but there's no like we don't know the backstory of these characters. Some of them were robots, so they don't even really truly the backstories really don't matter as much. Um, but and there's some insight they give to certain characters, especially like uh, the boy genius, like Wendy's character has it, but it's not great detail and everything else. But yeah, that's about all I can think of to talk about these first three episodes. Um, with all that being said, because the plot, like I said, it's a slow plot, but that's fine as long as you got action and stuff happening. I feel like it does have enough action in there. Matt, where are you sitting at so far? First three episodes of the show, like where are you at? Give a score if you want to or whatnot, but just where are you at? First three episodes. You do sound like you're excited for the next episode that'll come out tomorrow. What are you thinking about?
Yeah, I'm 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Oh, we're doing the 5 scale. I guess Letterbox even has shows, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not. Does it only movies or shows?
Yeah, it's both.
Okay. So I guess we could do that and maybe even put this series on Letterbox. I'm going more at a 3 out of 5. I like it. I enjoy it. It's good enough to keep on. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's been a couple of series we've been trying to cover that I really didn't care. It's like The Last of Us season 2, bro. First couple of episodes I was excited, but after that I was almost hating the fact that we had to do a damn review for that show. To be honest with you, it became garbage. I'm not here. I'm not even there, even close to that with this one. I'm enjoying it. I do think there's some things to improve on. I and if the brother gets in one or two more situations that he should be dead, I'm gonna have issues because he almost died. Like they do, he is like hurt. Like he's not like injureless or whatever. He's hurt. They're they don't really show like what kind of condition he's in, but he's like he is injured at least. But yeah, he should have died like 3 or 4 times, and he didn't. So if that keeps happening, I'll probably have an issue with it. I mean, and the reason why they're doing that is because they put the brother in danger because it makes the main character Wendy like obviously put her in like a real tense situation, and I get why they're doing that and everything, but it's like nah, bro, you can use that trick a couple of times, but that's about all. That's about it. So yeah, I'm at about 3 5. You're at a 4 out of 5, so not bad. We're both on the good side of things with this show so far. I do think it's got the opportunity to get better according on how the story plays out from here. Uh, I'm kind of even intrigued in the political sense of the Atanis and the Prodigy, like what's going to happen between them because they obviously had a phone call and stuff where they're talking about like, hey, I can't come, you can't come over here. That'll be a breach of the treaty and all this kind of stuff. So I do think there can be some stuff played out there that's not just all about an alien
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see. And the alien did. It looked like it did die. Now they do have one of the face suckers that they were dissecting and stuff like that. So that doesn't mean there's not going to be aliens in the rest of the show. But yeah, I'm pretty curious where they're going to go from here. And tomorrow we'll get that watched. And like I said before, join the Discord. You can do that for free. You can also donate to us. There's all kinds of ways to support the show: Ko-Fi, Patreon, all that good stuff. If you do Patreon, you do it at a certain level. You can come in and review the shows actually live with us on the actual channel if you want, if you choose to, and all that good stuff. But yeah, man, biggest thing is to build the community and be able to have like a cool community to be able to sit around and talk about the different shows. And we don't always agree on shows. Some people like some of the shows that we go and recover, and some of us hate the crap out of them. Just according on to what show it is and everything else. But that's cool about when you get to watch a good show. Because I do think this is good. I won't call it great, but I do think so far Alien Earth is a good show. I mean, at the very beginning when we first got in here, Armada, somebody on the team right here says show was awesome. Like he thinks the show is awesome.
I'm not at the awesome level yet. I'm at it's good. It's good. I would recommend people to give it a chance because some people may like it more than I do, like Matt does. But with that being said, guys, y'all have a good one, and don't get hit in the face by a face sucker. Until next time, peace. Man, I almost hit the wrong button, bro. I gotta hit credits.